No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for June the 24th, 2022. We are just a little over a week away until the Money in the Bank 2022 premium live event on the WWE Network / Peacock. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, this day in history from 2002, Vince opened Raw and asked, who has ruthless aggression? 2007, the Benoit tragedy. Their bodies were found on June 25th. June 24th, 2002. Cannot believe that was 20 years ago when that whole ruthless aggression era started. John Cena came out there, and that's coming up on Raw, the 20-year anniversary of John Cena's debut, but that's Monday. Thank you again, Hamp. Let's get into this recap of SmackDown. We had the usual footage shown from last week when Roman Reigns successfully defended his championship against a very game Riddle. We then had Drew McIntyre come into the ring for a promo, welcomed everyone to SmackDown. The announcers were teasing that the Money in the Bank winner will cash in at SummerSlam, taking advantage of a weakened Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar after their last man standing match. McIntyre talked about how he is going to become Mr. Money in the Bank. Said that Brock Lesnar shows up and automatically gets a title match. Good for him. McIntyre said he does things the hard way and they can expect Mr. Money in the Bank to claymore their ass. I thought McIntyre already called his match for Clash at the Castle. Are we supposed to forget about that at this point? Because he definitely mentioned it on television. Anyways, Sheamus arrived with the Brawling Brutes. And then Sheamus talked about how he cashed in Money in the Bank on Roman Reigns. McIntyre should not even be in the match as far as Sheamus is concerned. And then we had Paul Heyman show up with Adam Pearce. And Pearce got on the mic and said that maybe he was a little bit hasty to put McIntyre and Sheamus in the Money in the Bank match because neither of them actually won their qualifying match. Pearce then said he had some influence from Paul Heyman and a decision has been made. McIntyre and Sheamus will not be in Money in the Bank, but there is a path forward. If they could beat the Usos in the main event, they would get the opportunity to enter Money in the Bank. So I guess this is good in the sense that Heyman is trying to prevent them from being in the match, and there's a logical reason for McIntyre and Sheamus being added to the match instead of, well, they both got counted out, so Pearce is just going to let them both be in the match or double disqualified, whatever it was. And that was set up for our main event. And then we had our first match of the evening, which was Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Zayn cut a promo before the match, said that they always do what's right for Roman Reigns, him and the bloodline. He said he's an honorary Uce and he is going to dedicate his match to the tribal chief. And then he said he will win Money in the Bank, but will not cash it in on Reigns. He is going to protect Roman Reigns by winning Money in the Bank. We had the match. Nakamura, quick start. Sami Zayn is his usual tactic of going to the outside of the ring. Nakamura went after him. Zayn took advantage of that. He suplexed Nakamura on the barricade. Nakamura barely beat the 10 count, and the match continued. Nakamura almost got the win with a small package, and Zayn was able to avoid the Kinshasa. Zayn tried to pin Nakamura with his feet on the ropes. Referee caught him. Referee was arguing with Zayn. Nakamura came off the second rope with a knee to the back of the neck, but Zayn kicked out of that. And then Zayn crawled to the outside of the ring again. Nakamura caught him on the outside with a Kinshasa, rolled Zayn back in the ring, but then when Nakamura got back in the ring, he got blindsided with a haluva kick. 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn gets the win. And I guess this makes the most sense with this Sami Zayn storyline, him being the honorary Uce, but I just feel bad for Nakamura, as Jose Garza points out. Nakamura is never going to get his match with Roman Reigns, which sucks. Like, not even a SmackDown match. We had a dance-off segment, New Day versus Shanky and Jinder Mahal. New Day said they were basically tired of rematch after rematch, which is kind of funny considering the nature of WWE. And they want to see Shanky dance. Jinder Mahal was not having any of this. He quickly walked out. So Shanky just danced with the New Day, and then all of a sudden, the Viking Raiders, now improved with eyeliner, they showed up and attacked New Day and Shanky from behind, took down all three guys, and we'll see how long this push lasts for the Viking Raiders. They got new eyeliner, everybody. That's the new and improved Viking Raiders. They're heels now. Whatever. Guess they'll have 10 matches with the New Day over the upcoming 6 to 9 months, however long these feuds tend to last. We had Sonya Deville backstage confronting Adam Pearce about a women's division, the state of it. Sonya said she hasn't had a match on SmackDown in quite some time. Meanwhile, other women are getting Money in the Bank opportunities, and Adam Pearce said that Sonya will have a match, and that match will be a handicapped match against Raquel Gonzalez and Lacey Evans. So the heel being put in a 2-on-1 situation. Of course, we all know Sonya Deville was abusing her power all that time, so Pearce was just getting back at her. Sonya decided to even the odds, or actually put the odds in her favor, by bringing out Xia Li, who's a heel now, and Shayna Baszler to be out there in her corner. Shayna kept interfering during the match, but Raquel and Lacey Evans were able to regroup. Lacey hit the women's right, pinned Sonya Deville, and then afterwards, Xia Li and Shayna got in the ring. It was a 3-on-1 beatdown, but then Lacey and Raquel Gonzalez were able to fight off the bad girls. So not much to this segment. Kind of just felt like filler. Get the women a segment on the show type of deal. We then had the Street Profits backstage walking around. They ran into Los Lotharios and Drew Gulak, just to remind everybody that they still have a job. And then they ran into Madcap Moss, same thing. And Dawkins told a joke, which was pretty lame, and Montez Ford did not even laugh at it. So that tells you something. We then had Natalya come into the ring dressed up as Ronda Rousey. She had a baby carriage with her. This could have been great if Natalya had just gone out there and mocked Ronda Rousey's lousy promo skills by just cutting a really bad promo. It would have been an all-time great segment. But nope, Natalya just cut a promo dressed up as Ronda Rousey, basically. Said that, well, as Ronda Rousey, she said that she doesn't stand a chance against Natalya at Money in the Bank. She got down on the mat, started tapping out, said that she is the saddest woman on the planet. And then, of course, the real Ronda Rousey arrived and said that Natalya is lacking charisma, and the closest Natalya will ever be to being an attraction is dressing up like Ronda Rousey. Ronda started to grab at the jacket, and then Natalya used the baby stroller as a weapon and then quickly fled the scene. Segment was pretty lackluster in my opinion. Did little to nothing to get me any more excited in seeing these two have a match. And who's Ronda Rousey to accuse somebody of lacking in charisma? I mean, Ronda's really good in the ring, but promo-wise, yeah, it's missing something pretty significant. We then had Drew McIntyre and Sheamus arguing backstage, basically the can they coexist storyline. And then we had the Intercontinental title, Gunther versus Ricochet. I might be going crazy here, but I feel like Gunther got new music yet again. Maybe it was the same music as last week. I don't know. Anyways, this was pretty much the same match they had last time. Basically, Gunther dominating. Ricochet used his agility, got a little bit of offense, but then he was clotheslined. He got chopped. He got German suplexed. Gunther hit the running drop kick and then powerbombed Ricochet 1, 2, 3. That should be the end, right, of Ricochet versus Gunther. I mean, I'm fine with the Gunther domination performance, but I'm just tired of the same matches over and over again. We had Sami Zayn backstage, said that Paul Heyman doesn't have to answer any interview questions from Caleb Braxton. And Zayn said he would never cash in on Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman put his arm around Zayn, and then Zayn said he's going to cash in on Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman put his arm down and stared a hole right into Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn walked away. This was pretty funny, you know. Paul Heyman did a great job here. We had a Money in the Bank qualifying match, Shotzi versus Tamina. Apparently, Aaliyah was hurt. The announcer said that, and Tamina stepped in for this match. Very basic match here. Tamina caught Shotzi with a super kick and went for the cover, but Shotzi got her foot on the rope. It was a little sloppy. Her foot fell off at one point and went under the rope, I think. But the match continued, and then Tamina got sent into the post. Shotzi hit her version of the DDT called the Never Wake Up, and she got the 1, 2, 3 victory. Shotzi is now in Money in the Bank. That's fine. Backstage, the Viking Raiders with eyeliner said that they have been pushed aside for too long, and now no one is safe. We'll see about that one. And Hamp Connell sent in another $5 super chat. Thank you, Hamp, with an additional fun fact. Also in 1996, Harlem Heat won the WCW Tag Team titles, and the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, officially declared war on WCW. Hamp, was this the Nitro where Hall and Nash were through the crowd? They went through the crowd and you had all the security out there, like the police officers, and everybody was distracted. And that's when Harlem Heat got the victory. But everybody was just so fixated on the Outsiders at ringside. Like, I do remember that, if that's in fact the segment that you're referring to there. We had Max Dupree backstage with Adam Pearce, and once again, the Maximum Male Models debut is being postponed because, according to Dupree, the dressing room wasn't up to standards, and Adam Pearce said they'll take care of it. And next week we're gonna have the male models. You know, they're coming, just like Veer Mahan, just like Robbie. They're coming. Whatever. We then had a Pat McAfee promo, which was actually one of the highlights of the show. He talked about bum-ass Corbin. He did the Rock's the millions and millions line and challenged bum-ass Corbin to a match at SummerSlam. No surprise here. Fully expected this, but Pat McAfee, his delivery is just very much on point. He always delivers on the mic, and looking forward to it. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of the Corbin character, Happy Corbin, but Pat McAfee, I think, will bring the best out of bum-ass Corbin. And I really think Pat McAfee needs to be in a match with Roman Reigns at some point. Like, to me, that's a money match that could fill up a stadium potentially. We had our main event of the evening, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos. Drew and Sheamus had to win to qualify for Money in the Bank. Street Profits came down to watch the match. McIntyre and Sheamus had the miscommunication. They started fighting on the outside. Usos took advantage with the dives, and Usos dominated for a while. Eventually, Sheamus hit a knee to the face of Jimmy, tagged into Sheamus, or tagged into McIntyre, I should say. McIntyre did his moves. Everything started to break down. The Brawling Brutes ran down to the ring to attempt to interfere, but they had been kicked out by the referee. And while this was going on, the Street Profits stopped Sami Zayn from going for a haluva kick on McIntyre. Profits and Usos had a face-off, and then you had McIntyre doing a dive over the top rope onto everybody. He got Jimmy back in the ring, hit Jimmy with the Claymore, and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Afterwards, Sheamus got in the face of McIntyre. Sheamus wanted to make it clear that he will win Money in the Bank. It was written in his face, and the referee raised their hands. McIntyre and Sheamus taunted, did their poses in the corner, and that was that. That was SmackDown, everybody. Show was all right. Not great, in my opinion. Felt like a filler show, but matches were pretty decent. Main event was good. Sami Zayn and Nakamura was good. Pat McAfee's promo was good. Those three segments, the highlights. Everything else was kind of lackluster, in my opinion. So I will go with a C+ for this, a little above your average WWE television show, but not by much. It was mostly skippable, in my opinion. So I would say somewhat recommend main event and Nakamura versus Zayn. That's pretty much it. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I appreciate your viewership and support. Monday night's going to be a big one. The return of John Cena. Tune in for that. And Forbidden Door is Sunday. I will be doing live coverage on the site, and there will be a stream afterwards right here on the channel. Dr. Scorpio sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, I love seeing champions lose on TV. Well, that's just the way it is. They had to build up Drew McIntyre, and apparently the Colorado hockey team either won or scored or something. Okay, it was just a score. I'm going up against the Stanley Cup and AEW Rampage. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Usos losing a non-title match, especially when we're probably not going to get a tag team title match. Maybe we will. Hey, maybe that'll be the SummerSlam match. McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos, and Sheamus is a tweener for that match. I mean, who knows at this point? I mean, I think I'd rather see that than Sheamus versus McIntyre for the 500th time. So we'll see. Maybe it will lead to a tag team title match. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy Forbidden Door. And if it's not your cup of tea, you could still check out the results over at NoDQ.com and tune in for the live recap, the live stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend. And I will see you all next time. Say yes to NoDQ.com.